What's up, SolarCruiserDude here, and today I want to talk about the Joe Rogan experience. Specifically, a couple of episodes that he's had on this week were some bangers. Let me tell you, man, I was super excited. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan, and I watch his show religiously every week. But no episode, very few episodes, I should say, has gotten me to stop what I was doing and watch the entirety of the episode as it was being released. So he had on Alex Jones and he had on Kanye. So it's been a pretty good week for the podcast. One thing I gotta say about Alex Jones though is that I've been a big fan of him and the Joe Rogan experience. So let me talk about a few things. So Alex Jones has been a journalist for a very long time. He's been doing this for 30 years, right? And I know he's been in some hot water for some things that he said, but you know what? I don't care, man. Let the man back. Let him back on YouTube and stuff like that. But, anyways, one of the things I feel that went wrong with the episode, I mean, it was great. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I think it could have been better. I think Joe Rogan made the mistake of not getting high. Well, I know it was Sober October. He made the mistake of rushing into this episode, this interview with Alex Jones. He should have waited. Like, what is it? Like 3 or 4 days till October is over. Like, why couldn't he just been like, okay, we're gonna have Alex Jones on and November 1st or whatever. I guess there's a lot going on. I know the elections are November 3rd, but I think that was just the biggest mistake because you can tell that Joe Rogan was getting very much agitated with Alex Jones. If you go back and watch I think this is the third episode that he's had Alex Jones on. They're having a good time. He's high, he's stoned, they're drinking, they're smoking cigars, and this episode just felt different. Another thing that I noticed is that he kept calling out Alex Jones and trying to fact check him, which is good. I think it's okay that it's all right to have people getting fact checked, and he does this on the show. But I feel like it was a lesser Alex Jones episode with Joe because he just kept trying to fact check him, and it made me feel that it was Spotify or some other influence, YouTube or something, that was hammering down onto Joe that he needed to, if he was going to have Alex Jones on, that he needed to fact check him more and just not let him say whatever he wants willy nilly. But on the other end, I'm thinking to myself, this is Joe Rogan. I don't think he's much of a pushover. I mean, you read certain comments and certain what people's opinions are about Joe Rogan. They think that he's now he's owned by Spotify. But if you think about this, Joe Rogan has been trying to re-platform Alex Jones for quite a while, and I think this was something he was trying to do for Alex Jones, and I don't know if Alex Jones understands this himself, is that he's trying to give Alex Jones more credit by taking the things that he says and fact checking them. Because that's what everybody's asking for, and that's what kind of got Alex Jones in trouble in the first place. So I see both sides. I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Is Alex Jones being forced to do this because of Spotify and YouTube? Or is he doing this as Alex Jones' friend? And it was really interesting. It was really kind of telling because Alex Jones was inviting himself over to the election party that they're going to have on November 3rd. And they're like, yeah, we're going to get fucked up. We're going to smoke. We're going to drink. And the whole episode, Alex Jones was trying to get Joe Rogan to get high. And Joe Rogan stood his ground. It's like, nope, I'm not going to get high. But it was interesting because you kind of get a glimpse into the relationship. And it was, I don't know if it was what it was saying because it seemed like Joe Rogan wasn't really his buddy, and maybe I'm just looking into this too much and speculating because like Alex Jones was super excited to be there, and Joe Rogan could tell and understand that. And but I think the whole dynamics of everything was just different because for one, Joe Rogan wasn't stoned, he wasn't fucked up, and going along with Alex Jones's stuff, and then Alex Jones got drunk, but like. Alex Jones was inviting himself to their party, and then Joe Rogan a couple of times was like trying to pull the reins back, like, whoa, 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 you're coming over for a little while. Like he said that a couple of times and got me cracking up. Like, wow, man, like I I wouldn't talk like that to a friend of mine. You know, it just seemed kind of like he was talking down to Alex Jones a couple of times. Like, it, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too much. I think maybe it was what I've been saying. I think Joe Rogan wasn't stoned. He wasn't messed up. And he also revealed something else that was kind of interesting to me. He said Alex Jones asked him when's the last time he did DMT. He said it's been a couple of years. So Joe Rogan hasn't been doing DMT, which is fine. You know, that's the man's choice. I just think it's really interesting because he always brings up DMT. He's like, "Have you tried DMT? Oh, do you have a sports injury? Have you tried DMT?" You know, so I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. Now, Kanye West, I thought that was great. I think it was awesome that he had two people on his podcast. I remember growing up and hearing the different memes about Kanye. You know, no one loves Kanye more than Kanye, and you know about Kanye's his his personality and how he thinks highly of himself, but and you know the grabbing of the mic situation. But I think I watched that episode too, and I was super excited about that. The two episodes this year that I like stopped everything I was doing. I had my boogie board. I was about to go get in the water. I was gonna, I had already put the solar panel up, and I was charging my batteries, and because I played games really late the night before, and then I seen that on my phone, fucking Kanye in my notifications 9 minutes ago. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna gonna watch this. So I thought it was really cool because you hear so many different people talk about Kanye and Alex Jones in very negative ways, and memes come out, gay frogs or whatever. And so I thought it was cool that he was able to have these guys on represent themselves. And I think he I don't really consider myself religious in the denominational way. And I think it was great though that Kanye was able to come up there and talk about his spiritual life and his relationship with God, which is great. It was just excellent. I think anybody that has a relationship with God, they should be able to talk about that openly and not. And I think the media does a terrible job at making those people look like lunatics. When I've met a lot of people that were religious and they've helped me out, and they're very genuine people, and I don't think there's anything wrong with religious people, because I mean some of what they think or believe might be messed up, but a true devout religious person wants to do good by others, and a lot of people will use that to try and manipulate people. So anyways, besides all that, I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing Kanye was on there and he got to talk about the church that he's building. And, imagine what would have happened if they just put those two together, like Alex Jones and Kanye. Come on, Joe. Put those two together in the same room. Let's see what kind of magic we can get, man. Anyways, I just thought I'd talk about this, man, because, like, I don't usually talk about things going on in the world, but I thought I'd talk about this because that was really cool. It was really amazing. I look up to Kanye and Alex Jones. Weird combination, I know, but Kanye West, I'm starting to get back into his music now, and I'm really glad that Joe Rogan, has a platform and gave Alex Jones and Kanye West the ability to speak for themselves, because I think too many times we're given other people's thoughts, but media does a really terrible job at that, cutting and editing things out so people sound crazy, and it does a really a disservice to the legitimacy of conversation and people, and I think it's ridiculous. It's like high school days of drama and stuff like that. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. Hopefully we'll see some more awesome people on the I almost said the Alex Jones show. Yeah, that too. But hopefully we'll see some cool stuff like that in the future. Joe Rogan's a pretty cool guy, and he's had some pretty banger guests, and he's the GOAT, man. So thank you, Joe Rogan, for your service and providing a platform for free speech. I'm a big proponent in that, and just like he says, the only thing better than bad speech is better speech. And that's all I have to say, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you haven't make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna die in the background, but that's fine. I'm sacrificing my guardian for you guys. So make sure, if you guys haven't already, to like this video, subscribe, slap that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Yoo!